Hello, I am the Ronin Paul. Wait a second, I've got to get my embodiment here. Hello, I am the Ronin Paul. There, I just had to put my soul into a small graphic of a cursor on your screen. Hello, Finn the Wasteman. It's Finn from the Discord. Finn from the Discord? It's been years. How you doing? And Make It Pies, hello all, and Simpson fan. And
in 3, 2, 1, fire!
Yo, my potato points is gone. Really? Did they steal them? How did that happen? Is everybody? Well, Jermacian's still got some potatoes, huh? So I don't know what that's about. Yes. Hello, Finn. Hello, Mega Pies. Hello, Simpson fan. Hello, everybody. How you doing? Detroit's looking bright. I try not and look directly at it, is the thing. Wait a second, I gotta check my hard drive. Oh my god! You know what? My hard drive could fill up while we're recording this. You just reminded me that I should probably look at this. I have saved all of the live stream recordings so far. I have not deleted a single one of them, and each of them is... Well, let's see what each of them is. Yeah, they tend to be about 15 gigs large. Free space on drive M, 21.5 gigs. We might get away with it. Oh, hello. There's a... Wait a second. There we go. I got it. I started it up in the background this time. Like a smarty. And then it snuck up on me. Because I'm not that smart. I didn't remember. Finn, how you feeling, Pawn? I am feeling okay. Lately, been having some of my, a lot of the shortness of breath, what's it called? Hypoxia kind of feeling, like not getting enough air. But I'm getting by with it. And just got some good news today. Washington Post yesterday posted wrote an article, printed an article about MECFS because a doctor for the NIH working with a woman who has MECFS may have found a bit of a linchpin breakthrough. It could help a lot of people, if not everybody, and a lot of people, in a certain chemical called, if I remember, WASF4, something like that. WASP4. No, it's 3 actually, if I remember correctly, and it actually is like WASP something 3. But a certain, it's a certain gene actually is what that's naming, but that gene produces something in the body. And what they found is that the mitochondria of 9 out of 14 patients that they looked at for MECFS are flooded with this particular chemical compound, which gums up the works of the mitochondria and reduces the output of energy on a cellular level to about half of the energy, and that's exactly what has been observed in terms of what happens with MECFS patients. So for them to actually pin a chemical function to why do we have a mitochondrial dysfunction could be huge news, might just be That's kind of how it is with MECFS. It's could be huge, oh my god. And if it turns out that what they found here is something, a core root problem, they are already testing. The doctor Paul Huang, I believe, at the National Institute of Health, the NIH, I believe they're currently doing a small test already on a medication that is on the market, already exists for another condition. So it's already approved for use, and they're just going off-label and testing it because, Paul Huang et al. Apparently, think that this would be what you would need if that's what's going wrong, and that seems to be what's going wrong. And so, there's reason to be hopeful that we could see a actual treatment for this disease that has no treatments, and very quickly, because they're just going off-label on another medication that's already been cleared for use and stuff like that. So, yeah, could be a big, big, big deal. And I've read a lot about MECFS, and, I've watched a lot of different pieces of research, and I would say that this is the most promising thing that I've seen to date. It should be in the MECFS channel. Can you send that article to Discord? Yeah. Finn Wasteman on Discord. It's in MECFS, and it's both a Washington Post article, and I found, an NIH page on it as well, I believe. I think. I don't remember. I've a couple of different things came in yesterday and today with MECFS information, and for the unfamiliar viewer, on our Discord server, I keep an MECFS channel where I store all the research that I think is actually pointing at something that's real in MECFS. That channel in its original description was named, MECFS is a neurological condition where swelling in the brain and brainstem cause a number of symptoms. It was something like that was the description, because that's what it is, and a lot of doctors don't know that, and a lot of researchers don't seem to even know that. But, it's an immune, neurological, and endocrine problem, but, the worst of it is the neurological end. So let's point at the worst of it. Probes before crew in Kerbal Space Program, everybody. Sorry I have to run, Finn. You just got here. It's been years. It's been years. And Finn's out already. Oh good, it's the middle of the bleeding night. No, it isn't, because I control space and time. Well, I control one of them, and if you've got one of them, you can usually wrangle the other into doing what you want anyway.
You know. You all know exactly who I am.
Who are you?
Say my name.
Alright, I'm gonna say Simpson Fan 409's name here, VIP, because you just bought yourself for, how much is that, 100? No, it's 10,000 potatoes. Simpson Fan 409 has been added as a VIP of this channel. Your next chat should have a extra little doohickey next to it, I think. And, when I, the many times, which has been once, once that I've done it anyway, turned the chat on to emote mode. Apparently you can still talk. So that's welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, everybody. It's a beautiful morning. It's a beautiful... I can't start singing, especially since I don't know where I was going with that. It's another fine Sunday morning. And
you said tomorrow, so just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it.
Just do it. Jermacian just flexing with 100,000 potato drop. The first time that we've ever heard those inspirational words on this live stream. Oh geez, I left a mouse on screen. I'm sorry. Let me get that mouse off a screen for you. We wouldn't want any unnecessary mice on screen. We already got me, and I'm a mouse, so no mice. Yeah. The thing that you would never know if I didn't tell you is that for some reason I don't hear Mickey go ha-ha at the end of that, even though I put it in there. I don't know what the hell OBS's problem is. It's set up to where I should be monitoring it, I should be hearing it, but it just doesn't play. But I will pretend like I heard it because I know that it's supposed to be there. So, Kerbal Space Program, what are we doing? I don't know. What have we been doing? We did take a mission that we haven't done yet, and it is the ScanSat survey of Kerbin. Put a satellite in polar orbit over Kerbin, start making a map. And of course we're still, looking at Explore Memnus with the probe, which means we just have to send a probe there, land, and then come all the way home with the same probe. That will clear that one out. I might actually get to it today. But starting up this live stream, trying to be mindful about, just kicking back and enjoying playing the game and having, and not getting too lost in entertainment land, because I really put my live stream energy up front, then it knocks me out. Anything interesting that we've got here? Clock district and adjusted orbit of Minmus. We've seen that. That is our polar probe. That is not our ScanSat. And they want me to move it a little bit. And they'll give us money. What else before I get lost? There's temperature surveys of Minmus, and we're in positions to be able to do that, but they're very deadly heights. I don't want to mess around with it. VIPs and tourists, but they're not willing to pay a reasonable price, so I don't really want to mess around with that either. Let's take one look at the reposition clock district thing. And see if we want to take their money, basically. So out to Minmus. And, so, clock district. Where you at? There's the clock district. It's not our ScanSat. That one was there. That one's got our science on it. It's for, you know, getting temperature scans and stuff like that. I need to know more about you, clock district. I need to know, like, what kind of fuel you got in your belly, so let's go see the clock district. Making a little adjustment like that at Minmus shouldn't cost much at all, but we have used this guy on an extra mission since getting here. He's got 230 meters per second delta V left in him, and that mission, you know, if we choose to accept it, is to explore brave new worlds, to seek out new life, new civilization, to boldly go where no Kerbal has used that bathroom in a while. It smells in there, so they just kind of stopped. They sort of bolted the door shut and forgot about it. I think with 230 meters per second of delta V, that mission seems plausible to me. We might take it. This guy doesn't have to be in any place in particular, you know. We put him up there. We've already gotten some money out of him by running one real good temperature scan mission kind of a thing. Any more money that I can get out of him by moving him a little bit over to the left, over to the right kind of a deal, I will take it in order to make that guy more useful to us. Well, just make him have paid for himself kind of a deal. And again, we're just looking at... Looks like the periapsis doesn't even really come up. It's just the apoapsis rises and we twist a little bit to 12K. Yeah. Yeah? Yeah. Why do you keep putting your tongue in your cheek? Yeah. When you do that. Yeah. I'm going to take that one, and that'll be our pre-mission mission. So position the clock district in an adjusted orbit. Will still leave us in a fine place to be able to do temperature scans and things like that if we did want to. But let's bang that one out real quick. It'll help us refill our coffers a bit after having bought into the tracking station for 200 and something thousand Kerfluffins. And I suppose I could actually, for the first time, we could actually, you know, use a maneuver node. Huh? Focus Minmus, it'll be easier for me. Yeah, right here, make me a maneuver at the descending node, and we can find out exactly how this is going to go. And well, that gets you your change in something. Periapsis would be close enough. And then we do the, you know, we blow that out from down there. Alright, well, where are we? Because, well, which direction is it that happens on? Is that on the normal? It looks like that's the normal, not the anti-normal. Okay, now that I know that, I'm just going to throw this away. And which direction are we moving in there? Clock district. We're going toward the other node.
Jimmy Stewart, yeah, I think we can do that. Won't take too much effort at all. Sure, we can do that.
Is that... I don't know when Jim Stewart would have said that. Was, yeah. Yeah. Mary? Okay, that's close enough. And then it used to be so if we're on this side, then it's not going to be the normal, right? It's going to be the anti-normal. That's, no pawn. It's still going to be the normal. Okay, yeah. That would make sense. I mean, both of them could, whichever one of these happens, I'm going to make some sense of it, you know, is what I mean. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the wrong way. This is the wrong way. But we're still, and alright. Yeah, no, like I was saying, whatever direction we have to burn in order to make this happen, on the ball, that's the one that makes sense to me. And there you go. They didn't even need us to climb like they wanted us to climb. Not actually that important, apparently. And if we close these down, we have just positioned Clock District in an adjusted orbit of Minmus, and I'm happy to leave them there. We're still at safe heights of 61 and 12.2. Okay, we did blow it up to a height anyway. But yeah, that's safe. Apparently the highest thing on Minmus is 57. 150, like 5.7 kilometers? Something like that, I seem to recall. F5 from there, free money, right out of the front of the thing, back to the Space Center. What are we really doing today?
Jim Stewart, yeah. Don't take too much effort at all. Sure, we can do that.
There's two very distinct impressions of Jim Stewart that you have to learn if you're going to do a Jim Stewart. And one is young Jim Stewart, and one is old Jim Stewart.
Old Jim Stewart, when he was an old man. And then there's young Jim Stewart that you've got to do, Mary.
You got to learn both of them if you're going to do any. Okay, what we're really doing today is putting up that polar ScanSat thing, I suppose. That's where we're starting anyway. And let's see, working off of the ship that we made last, which was just a geosynchronous guy. Why are there so many more parts in one of these than in the other? I'm going to assume that this one is the one we want. More parts. Oh no, that isn't the one we want. But I don't want to fly it like that anyway. I don't want to fight it. Let's go back to this one. It was all them fins we stuck all over it because it had weird aerodynamic drag issues. That being the case, maybe I shouldn't use anything off of this. It's an easy thing to build something brand new. So let's just do it. Start with a hex, and honestly, let's try and like make a reusable little probe here. The fins strike again, yes, with their solving of homelessness. Damn fins. It's Finland, right? Isn't it Finland who, just decided, hey, what if we gave homeless people homes? And you know what? You know how you solve homelessness? Get this. Try and keep up with me here, everybody. Found something no one could have expected. So yeah, we should make these, make one up and then drop it into sub-assemblies, and then I won't have to build again, or at least I'll have something to build off of each time that we do it. So, yeah, let's put it like this. Nope, it's always the last direction. And I mean the last of three. There are only 3 different ways, 3 different rotation angles. And it's always the third one with me. I would like you to be a little bit embedded. A little bit more So that would be for, if we want to do like significant transmissions. I'm just building a relay right now when I shouldn't be building a relay. I should be building for a surface, for a surface scan, for a ScanSat kind of a thing. So where do we keep ScanSat parts these days? In here. And we have built one already. But, I don't mind building again. Seeing what we want to do with it. We know that with a ScanSat module we need significant electric generation. We, as I recall, needed a couple of these guys in a, so that they don't bump into. Yeah, if I do like this, we can pack it in as tight as it's going to be. When we extend it, those will be able to rotate, and they'll give us enough power in order to run the ScanSat unit. This guy's only got 100 electric charge in him. It's enough for our purposes, but I think just as a general, like, good practice, general good practice, throw on a better battery than what we start with. Absolute snap, hit it. Ooh, I might just leave you like that because of the way that you embed into the battery, and the battery has a top that you can see through. That, yeah. So it gets us power. We need comms. Comms was the last time we built one of these. I forgot to put any communications on the ship that, well, on it. There was some on the ship, I think. We had a comms issue, is what I'm getting at there. And, just pull you down, and then I'm thinking, like, hey. Yeah. We want to keep the package tight. Tightly packly tighted. So that's comms, that's power generation, that's ScanSat, that's electric storage. We don't really need any science on there, but just to balance out the weight. Put a thermometer right there, and then we've got an option to do thermometry type things with it. Involve the thermometrics. Just to be sure about this mission. Low resolution altimetry scan of Kerbin, that's all. It doesn't... If we already had one up there, it would be happy. We don't have to launch a new vessel or anything like that. Okay. So how's this thing gonna propel itself, Pawn? Well, I think you probably could guess. We're just going polar and dropping the damn thing, honestly. I mean, simplest kind of explanation is that we could do monoprop systems and whatnot, but in terms of just keeping it simple stupid, what's even an ant, gonna do for us in vacuum? 0.43 TWR, 1688 meters per second. Just kind of insane how much DV you get out of a little lightweight thing like this. Yep, keep it simple, stupid. That's basically it, I think. That's our guy. Is that our guy? That might be our guy. Put one of you on there. And can I change the color of that? Yeah, I don't think you want to. Yeah, I don't think I want to either. I don't really have a need for that thermometer on there. You've got enough your own SAS and stuff like that, your own reaction wheels, center of mass is right there. I'll leave it all on. And then, so what I was saying was subassemblies. And, well, actually, I guess what I'll do is I'll make, yeah, you the root part, then I'll grab by the engine. And subassembly drop zone. And, low orbit ScanSat. In fact, like, I should be like ScanSat. Low orbit. This is the version, or this is the ScanSat antenna, or dish, that takes care of us at 70 kilometers. If we wanted to be higher, we'd want to take out this larger radar antenna, apparently, that is best at 100 kilometers. I wonder if that field of view is 3.5 degrees, field of view on this is 1.5 degrees. We're doing Kerbin here. Like, in order to get a reasonably quick scan, maybe that's I'm trying to figure out, like, what are the upsides and downsides to these two guys. And maybe the reasonable thing here for you know, a full-size planet instead of just a little moon like Minmus would be to put one of those on there. Now, how the hell we would bring it up or anything like that's somebody else to figure out. 0.125. So I guess that's how they've balanced this, at least in theory, is that you get more than double the scan area, field of view, for twice the weight. With a craft as small as this, I don't know. What is it again? 0.125. And how much are these solar panels? 0.0175. Feels wrong to put such a large thing on such a small thing, you know? And trying to balance that weight would be difficult in and of itself. How would I counterbalance it? Unless you just put two of them on there. And then the other thing, the other like consideration of if you were going to put two of them on there is, you know, having the panels in such a way as they actually get light. So these would be umbrellaing the panels a lot of time. Go for budget or go for greebling. It's a huge solar panel. It's actually a scanning thing, a ScanSat thing. So this is apparently sensing the terrain readings. I don't understand, but that's what they say. Retract. And then you, yeah, no. A little bit half-baked, I would say. I mean, we could do that. What's the DV looking like on this at that point? Put you above there. No? You still don't like me? Make you the root part. 1136. Still a butt ton. 0.31 TWR, even weaker. It's huge. I think I gotta keep it small. It's gonna take forever, you know. I think this is like the thing that you'd want to build for scanning Kerbin is something like this. I would just make a bigger thing, is what I would do, and we've already saved this, and so I'm going to. I'm gonna try making a bigger thing. So again, give me a hex, and you know, I'll think of this more as this whole craft is going to be the stage that pushes us into orbit. You know, it's not really about the weight, it's about the size. I don't know. I'm going back and forth on myself on what I want to do. Give me that scan sat boy back out here. GD06, and then yank this off again. And let me just look at it one more time with the big guys on it, because I mean it's like, here's my thought, you know, is put them up like that. They gotta go under. I could deal. They just gotta get underneath the fairing. Yeah. Hey Jim, how you doing? You see me? You hear me? You feel me? I don't know if I'm comfortable with the amount of you feeling me that I'm getting here. Get your hands off, Jim. These goods. You know what? We could actually, if that's the way things are, then I could rip everything that I've done apart, entirely unintentionally. No, we could just have that there. That's gonna be free. And what? And this, do you penetrate? You do penetrate there. Well, that's okay, because I could be like that. A couple little minor adjustments to the design. Keep it nice and low. And still looking at, you know, over 1,000 meters per second of delta V in this guy to push itself wherever it's going, which is polar, and to 100K apparently. So if that were the thing, let's continue building as though that's the thing. Which would mean I need that there, and that means you guys would need to be up a little bit higher for the clearance. Oh, I like you better like that, too. Visualably. Build the fairing. I wonder how big this fairing's got to end up being to get past these guys. I am clicking. With some snapping. Okay, bigger than that. Okay. It's a bit of a weird one. Haggis? Wait, my attention slipped for 2 minutes and now they're talking to me. They're taking me to The Hague? They're taking you to The Hague. Are they gonna be dropping you off? Who's they? Yeah, this is all fine, and then also we wouldn't need the explosive force of this, you know, just enough to make a separation. Yeah. Is there anything I can do with the ant engine in terms of... I could change the color, and then if I were to make this like that, what the hell ever. And then you, instead of gold, go marble. Alright, if that were our payload, then we just gotta push it up there. And we've got some nice parts to do that with now that we haven't had before. Let's say this thing's gonna have a ridiculous amount of delta V on it. If I just build a common little ship here. Engines. And swivel. And from an altitude of, say, around 10K, 2600 pushing that up. And then if under there was little SRB, just the thumper, maybe even less than the thumper. From sea level, we'll be looking at 900, let's say. 900 meters per second plus 2600, that's 3400 meters per second. That puts us into orbit completely. And we don't actually want to get to orbit completely, but you know, we can just not. We could just not, is what we could do. Yeah. We can always throw it back once it's up there. And then you're 600. How much do you end up costing? 640. And then that doesn't have any reaction stuff on it. Okay. Two of these going up for control authority in just the one direction that we'll be turning down on it, I think seems plausible. And then from sea level, thrust to weight ratio on that guy. Looking for a 1.4, 0.42, give me another, 1.41. At this point you just gotta type it in as 81 if you want it to be specific. And that's a 1.4 TWR taken off, a little bit of fins back there for some stability from this guy, and then there's the issue of, you know, aerodynamic drag, pushing it, you know, is kind of a, it's a weird thing to be pushing a big old balloon in front of you like that, but it's worth trying this craft out, isn't it? So 015, and this is the double stuffed scan sat Mark 1, which is going to Kerbin. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 015 that we're on here. Let me just check. Yeah, it looks like 015 is what we're on. I'll save, and then let's look at some staging. So the SRBs fire, we drop the SRBs. So we fire up the liquid fuel stage, and then we pop the top, and when we're dropping that, we're switching its engine on. That all seems well and good to me. Anything that we're missing to put a scan set, you know, in polar orbit of Kerbin. We are going polar, so actually the fact that we're bringing up a little bit more delta V than an equatorial orbital launch would need is good, because you need a little bit more to go polar. And actually, if I'm going polar, then you want to be like that. Because we'll be turning up the ball instead of right the ball. And one more look at the staging in case they've screwed everything up on me. You, and then drop and fuel, and then go away, and then drop and fuel and go away, and good. One thing missing, the Ronin Pawn flag. If I were to put the flag on, it might introduce aerodynamic drag effects. Did they ever fix that? They had to have fixed that, right? Before they said, oh, I think we're done. They had to have fixed that the flags used to cause massive aerodynamic drag issues. Surely before they went on to KSP2, somebody, you know, just took the drag off of the fan, the flags. Perhaps they didn't. Well, we want this on the part that's staying up there. Oh, and it will be underneath the fairing, so then even if they didn't fix the game like, you know, a designer would, we're still okay. As long as I can, you know, have it where I want it, when I want it, where I want it. But it won't. Why are you so penetratey? Oh, it depends on the angle I'm looking at you from. Yes, the game's finished. Oh, right, no, that's because I'm looking at it through the fairing. Because the fairing is also part of the finished game. If you're seeing through the fairing, some of the parts show, and some of them don't. Yeah, to hell with it. Alright, we've got a flag on there. We're saving, and I think I'm just going to throw this out on the launch pad, and we'll see. See if she flies for us. Being a little over threadbare by only using the two fins. It's not like we can't afford to have 4 fins. Yeah, that's interesting. SAS on, throttle to full. Pull up my readings. I just got to remember to pull to the north, which is down. Houston, we have a countdown for our ScanSat satellite going to orbit. Houston? Has anyone seen Houston? Where? The Jiffy Mart down the street?
In 3.
Oh, he's
2,
back. Okay.
1, fire.
Did you get beef jerky, Houston? You know I like my beef jerky. We could also pull to the south with this thing. This is another thing we could decide to do. Okay, I just want to pull it down to like there, and then, yeah. Oh, we are going to the south. I went to the south instead of the north. Listen, polar is polar. Go ahead and follow your prograde for the rest of the way, hon. See if it turns over a little bit too fast on us, because I get a feeling that it might. KSP2 is getting there at all? Do I feel that KSP2 is going to get there? The Church of Super Sampling? I don't. No. I suspect not really. But, you know. It's just my guess. Just my guess. I think they'll make their money off of it. Will we get a finished game? Nah, not really. We're getting a little bit hot here. I'm not sure. Yeah. I'm just letting it follow its prograde. Why not? Why not fly it like this once? Alright, we're at 73 on our apoapsis there. 73 and a half kilometers. And we got over 1,000 meters per second of delta V remaining to try and cook us up a near orbit polar, which apparently I went south, which is, you know, it is what it is. And we're losing, I mean, we're not losing a significant speed or anything from that. It's just weird is all. It's kind of weird. I mean, it's been told to follow its prograde. We're at 40-something kilometers, and it's being blown off. I guess it's just a really, really weak set of reaction wheels to try and be doing anything with this craft, and so it knocks it off its axis even under these conditions. Go ahead and 4 times fizz warp me. Weird how it came with less features than KSP1 and everything has the same issues as in KSP1. That's the part of it that makes me, you know, think, I don't know if we're going to get a real game out of this. Because my immediate assumption is that everything that they said about, no, we're going to rebuild all the systems from scratch, and we're going to get rid of the Kraken, I'm calling bullshit. Everything that you released to, you know, to us with the pre-release version there is clearly copy-pasted from what you did last time. And there's going to be some of that, but, you know, I was really looking forward to a building things up. You know what needs to be done. You can look at the old code, see what was, you know, that kind of a deal, and no, it's just copy-pasted over there, including all of the parts and parts configurations, and, you know, it's what they released with anyway. They're not inspiring hope. Oh, I'm not paying attention, so we're missing our apoapsis. I got talking. Yes, we're about to re-enter Atmo. I'm gonna burn quite toward the sky, in fact. Okay. We've got the apoapsis back up in front of us, and I'm going to stop that burn before it gets out of control. Go ahead and get back on your prograde, please. It's weird to be going polar, honestly, from the KSC. Let's roll you up to your apoaps. And our apoaps is at 109k. I didn't actually mean for that to happen, but it has happened, and that is where we're going. Wow, we have a lot of delta V left over here. I'm going to our retrograde to pull that apoapsis down to a nice even 100k, because that's where we're going, and then when we get to the apoaps, I'm going to burn our periaps down so we can drop this stuff back into Atmo. But for now, 109 kilometers right there on our apoapsis. Put it up over here. We want to be at a nice round 100. 100.8. Give me another roll. 100.3. 100.36. I do not mind that. This satellite that we're putting up here, Polar, is going to have a ridiculous amount of delta V left over. But let's warp around to the apoaps here. Have you heard of Juno New Origins? I'll give that one a shot when it goes on sale. No, another space builder, build'em spacey spacer builder. Get on your retrograde, please. Man, it took me right up to the apoaps. I thought I told it to drop me off a little before the apoaps. And then we're just going to drop that down to, let's say, 40. And I won't have 5 before I do this, but now we're throwing that away. Goodbye. You could pull out a little bit quick. I maybe should have put like 2% on our boy here. We don't need to extend solar panels yet. No. It'll be dangerous, so let's just hang on to everything as it is. And we want to go prograde, but I need to be... Let's just push away a little bit. And a little off to one side. As I flip us onto our prograde. So that we can blow this up for ourselves. Where are we? Yeah. So. Is there a direction? Yeah, if I do this, then I'm not bringing the apoapsis up while we're going. Can you, like, center the planet? Just make that a little bit easier for me. Go ahead and burn full. And I'm burning this to 100k. Is the idea. Okay, starting to lose it, so I will take that for now. And then we're going to do a little bit of a twist to get it upright in 90. Which direction are we going? Okay, we're going over the top. And passing by the Aurora Borealis. Another spacey space builder indeed. Procedural parts and custom planets out of the box. Yeah, it's not that, it's honestly, this is not that complicated of a thing to do, you know? I don't want to diminish the fine work of Squad and, you know, setting a standard, but, this isn't one of the hardest games that you would ever have to build. Let's, as long as we're passing by here, get on the retrograde, and I'm going to try and get that 101 to a really, really nice 100. 100 point. Oh. And that's a 99.9. Let's go back to the prograde. And I'll roll this back up. 100.002 kilometers on the apoaps side. And for the twist that we want, it's going to be just lining these lines up together, and that's sort of the spot that we want to do. Add maneuver. Which direction are we going to be maneuvering in when we maneuver? Not that one. It will be this one. and then we'll just be doing it by eye. But something like that, go ahead and warp me up to that maneuver then. Okay, is P2B better? And then Jermasian links a YouTube video. YouTube short, huh? I don't think there's a lot of reason to think that it will be, is the thing. It's not that I want to poo-poo anything. I just think that, you know, if we're being reasonable and logical from what we've seen so far, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of reason to think that we're going to be getting the best thing that we could get. And we have to judge it by the merits of this game already exists like this, and the modders have already done this stuff to it. Which... Okay, a little late on this burn. Just watching up here as it comes together. Which means that another game that they want people to pay for, that's supposed to do all of this, but more and better, has to do more and better. Otherwise, there was no reason to, you know, there's no reason to spend another 40, 60, whatever the hell they're going to sell it for at release, on a game that we already have that can be made to look, you know, like it was made recently, as opposed to the way that Kerbal looks, which is like it was made in 2003. And it can be made to play with mods also in a way that is significantly better than the developers left it. I think I'm going to call it good there, unless I look at this and say, I don't like that. Yeah, okay. That's not bad, and we're near enough to our periapsis that I'll try pulling down our periapsis, or our apoapsis again, rather. $102, $101, $100, $100.7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Kill engines. Damn it. 100.011 kilometers on the apoapsis side. Not bad. And I'm being wrong by a number I don't recognize. Excuse me for a moment. And I'm back. I'm coming back anyway. I'm coming back. Automated system. Lady Pawn's she's doing something with something. And they were calling to give her a code. It came onto my phone. We're on the same plan, obviously. So I just had to go let her know what the numbers are. Alright, back to what we're doing here. What were we doing? I feel like we were talking about KSP2. I am going to my apoapsis. I'm going to blow that up, and then we're going to start scanning. I mean, we can be scanning right now. Yeah, let's go ahead and deploy. We've been up here long enough. Let's go ahead and deploy. Oh, that's the orientation, is it? I prefer, when we're this close to the planet, put the planet under me. I know what's going on here. So first, let's get our solar panels extended. Nope. That's the one I was looking for. Pretty. Ah, the pretties. And then let's go ahead and, I guess we just start the scan to deploy it. Start scan. Start scan. Wow. Okay, let's point it at the planet. Apparently that's what we're scanning. Wait, no, you don't go fighting me. That's pretty cool. I don't hate the way that looks. It's a bit odd that our engines would blast, you know, between the panels, but it's Kerbal Spaceport, we can get away with it. Ski jumping champion pawn. Oh yeah, hey. And twice nonetheless. Alright, 10 pence instead of... Okay, that's cool, I like it. So we, you know, should have begun the scan, I suppose. Low resolution altimetry scan of Kerbin, 0% of the 75% that we need. So this might actually be that what we need to do is analyze data, or maybe it's just it needs to start kicking up. Let me get my ScanSat tool open here, right? So the little guy, which is the main window, shows us that we are indeed scanning something, I guess. And then the big guy shows us Minmus, celestial body Kerbin. Okay. Well, this type of scanning unit seems to have given us a bit more information here.
You can see the green color of the ores, I think.
With this unit, you think? Well, it's all online and it's doing a thing. Before I get too involved in it, let's head over to our app apps and let's study ourselves out at 100K. So, warp me up to a bit before it, please. Ooh, yeah, there you go. Sweep the planet. Sweep it. Retrograde? Or no, we'll be blowing it out, won't we? Prograde. We're blowing that 94 up to 100.000, just like we've got this guy. Holy shit, we're at exactly 100.000. That's kind of awesome. Let's start a burn. And we're no longer at 100.000. That's less awesome. And I've just blown that up too far. It flipped on me before I was ready for it. So let's pull it back down. 030. This is all just fine. Close enough, good enough for government work. We are at 100K, plus or minus 40, 50 kilometers in orbit of Kerbin, with our little guy scanning the surface, apparently. Wow. Can't really see the craft in there. It all gets a bit dark. But it's in there, I promise you. Somewhere in there, it's in there. Somewhere we in there. Alright, so back to the ScanSat gubbins. Let's refresh the map. And yeah, it looks like we started scanning there. It was going down, now we're going up this way. Interesting. Grid overlay, don't need no grid overlay. You're saying maybe something with the ores and whatnot? I don't know if it's, I wouldn't expect it. It seems like it would be early for that. In the tech tree, you know, is what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know, ScanSat, but I'm going to leave you here, and we have done 2% of the planet so far out of the 75% that we need. I presume ScanSat will operate in its, well, we're, you know, not staring at it anyway. Yes, Simpson fan, definitely. The green at the poles. Yeah, that's the aurora. On both sides. So we must be getting some significant solar winds right now. And always. But yeah, we have done the thing. We have put the thing where it's supposed to go. It has just 843 meters per second of delta V left in it, so it can almost get to Minmus. It might get to Minmus from where it is, 100K already. So it's already started some of the blow. If we wanted to send this to Minmus, we could get it there. We couldn't stop it once it got to Minmus, but it could get to Minmus anyway. Very nearly. But okay, that's our first mission for the day. And by the end of the day, it should be, you know, done. We'll be passing time all the time. Yeah. Is that in vanilla or maybe scatterer? I think it might be environmental visual enhancements. It might be Eve. I think it comes with the clouds pack. Yeah, for Eve down here. Because it's generating clouds for us, and I think one of the layers of its clouds is actually an aurora as well. In fact, Kerbal auroras, right there. So it would be environmental visual enhancements, and probably came in with astronomer's visual pack. Is the resources that I'm using with Eve. Yeah. That's my guess, anyway. It's a little bit confusing. Alright, so we have completed 2 missions? Did we do 2, or was that just the 1? Have we done something? What are we doing? We haven't completed it yet. It's still up there, Pawn. Anything new come in while we were out there doing that mission? For VVIP safely... ferry 4 tourists safely to their destinations and back. Now, here we go in terms of tourism. And it's just orbit Kerbal for each of them, and they're each willing to pay 20K. We need a tourist ship that'll move 4 people. You know, we could send up 2 of our 2-seater ships that we made. Sure we could. We could, sure. See these tight people over here, VIPs, they only want to pay 8,000 or something? Is there a difference maybe in the... No, we get more money and we get more rewards. I mean, this is just one person though, so it is 18 for one of them, whereas this is 20 for doing all 4 of them. So I guess you could say it's balanced in that way, that the money trades off for the reputation points, maybe. I'm right, it is from Astronomer's Visual Pack? Okay, cool. Now we know. I really need to, you know, do the things that you guys have mentioned in the last couple of streams, which is, you know, get a list of my mod packs, and also a list of the music that I play. It can be available at least on the Discord server or somewhere, or through the bot, I don't know. But, most of my not streaming time is recovery time, so... This is really, I want, you know? Do you want? I want. And so I will. Yeah. Yeah, so 4 tourists. 4 tourists to orbit. They might have to wait. You know, maybe we go to Minmus first. Maybe we go with a probe to Minmus, land on Minmus, and pop off, come home. That's entirely possible. Yeah. Just wait for the tourist mission to do it. One of the things I've noticed is the unlocking of, tourist missions and stuff in Probes Before Crew works out a lot better for making money. I think it does, it balances well with a slightly harder difficulty. Even though earlier I was saying, I started out saying I think medium is the place to be, and then at some point I was saying maybe normal is the place to be. You want to just play it normal. And now I'm back to moderate difficulty might be the place to be. I don't know, somewhere betwixt the twain. But I've noticed with the tourist contracts, you get a lot more. They stay just orbit of Kerbin for a lot longer because you're working on probes mostly. So the achievements that you're making, the biomes that you're getting into that would move the game forward, they apply to probes, but not people yet. And so you can kind of, you can run a successful tourist agency for quite a while just on orbiting Kerbin and get some good money out of it and do some mission, get some good gameplay out of it. So it's not just for the probes that we like this mod, it's for how it rebalances the crewed contracts as well. Does my YouTube have any KSP2 gameplay? Asked I'm a Dragon. Nope. No, when they were, doing KSP2, they did give me a free copy. I have to, thank them for that. I looked at it, wasn't impressed, there were some nice things that I could have said, but I wasn't feeling good enough to waste energy criticizing a release, and I knew that everybody else was doing it already anyway, so no KSP2 stuff on the Ronin Pawn channel. Let's throw this away, and by the way, I forgot, we should raffle off the name for that ScanSat module we just put in orbit. I'm gonna get Potato Roid up. Alright, Potato Roid is online. Raffle. Yes. So we've got a raffle open right now. Type exclamation point raffle in chat if you want to have a chance to have that ScanSat satellite that is in orbit of Kerbin now named after you. And hopefully we can get some fresh blood in the into Kerbal Space Program. We've got a lot of the same people over and over and over again. I've managed to win these things. Let's go and look at the tourist vessel that we've got right now, which is the Mephistopheles 3 Mark III. This was our 2-seater, and we need to go up to a 4-seater. I mean, we should go up to a 4-seater because we can build a craft that'll move 4 Kerbals for almost the same price as it costs to move 2 of them. And that's what tourism's all about here. So let's start from this craft and see where things take us. We need another Mark II crew cabin. Everything that's in here is everything that's in here. Yeah, I think we're going to leave that. The nose cone that gets thrown away system works a-okay, as far as I'm aware. We want to move the comms. We'll probably have to adjust our ship's clit. Ship's clit. We might be in a position now to return to the dolphin clit design that we had on the first thing. The first design that I had to throw away that I was so in love with, but we didn't have room for it, or whatever my excuses were. I'm going to get rid of the parachutes. For now. You know what? I shouldn't. Put them back on there. They at least tell you the weight that goes on this stage. It gives you a better idea of the delta V that you're working with. So from an altitude of some kilometers, say 20 or something like that, This is still telling us 1,200 meters per second in this craft to push itself to orbit. Okay. And then from sea level, 1,500. So we need more DV down here. And you know, I'm interested in making a shorter craft. Like, this is rather tall. This is rather tall right now. And so I'm thinking, get rid of the liquid fuel stage that we've got. This is the, you know, this will all be exactly, not exactly, but it'll all be something like that. But what about if we were to something, and then the stuff and the guys and that mass? I'm going to buy into you, because I think you're the right size to go up to the, yeah. Goes up to the TX size of fuel tanks. You know, if I just put one of you on there, and then grab a swivel from sea level, 1,300, so that's a little bit less than what we just had a second ago. Buy into the 900 tank. It's the biggest tank we got right now. And that gets us to 1,745 meters per second, but only 1.17 on the thrust-to-weight ratio. Are you... You are the swivel. Let's see about the Reliant. No gimbaling, but... What is that? You shouldn't be there. You shouldn't be there. There we go. Reliant gets us up to 1900 with 1.45 TWR, pushing that. So that's 1900 plus 1250. Which is 3,200. That's real damn close to being what we want. If we put just a little bit more down here... Yeah, I am full up there, okay. Then from sea level, we're talking 1983. We're talking 1950 plus 1250, and that's 3,300, right? 1950 and 1250 is... No. It's not 1950, it's a little bit more. So we're 22, we're over 2,200. That's still rather tight, is the thing. And I'm thinking maybe what we want to do is put the fuel onto this side of things. Well, in any case, I should consolidate what we had going on up here to one part. Should be that. Put the clip back on. And then you just anywhere, you're kind of just on for the weight for now. And then again, altitude, if you haven't broken all of my staging, looks fair. So 1580, let's say it's 1600 and 1800. That can't be right, right? How do we just get up to 1600, 1550 and 1800? It's telling me good numbers anyway. I like the numbers. Problem will be no gimbling, so difficult to move this thing. I will remind everyone in chat, again, we've still got a raffle open. Type !raffle if you want your name in the raffle for having a ScanSat satellite that is over Kerbin right now, polar, named after you when I name it. I think I'm gonna go with this. And just, do the rebalancing that we keep doing over and over and over again whenever we mess with this. But I think we'll try this. It's a pretty heavy return. I think actually I want to also put, in fact, what you want to do is pull these off. I want to put a third parachute on it this time. Which means I'll have to reconsider the delta V for that. But let's find out where's the center of mass when it's empty. When it's dry, presuming we're coming home dry from this flight, center of mass will be... In fact, I'm going to put them on both sides. There you go. Basically there. And then I'm going to have one parachute all the way down here. And then the other parachute needs to drag our center of mass back up to where it wants to be, which is about there, I guess. And then the last thing, I'm going to remove you from symmetry, throw you away. See the thing that's between me and the thing that you're selecting? That's what I'm trying to grab. And then put you dead on the middle there. It's 3 parachutes. Should be pretty well balanced on its way back. It's a much larger thing to return all in one piece. And much heavier, which is why we've added the 3rd parachute. Put you back on there. Let's look at these delta V readings again once we get the staging put back together. Fire that, and then you drop that, and fire that. But you're not giving me any oh, because I haven't got... Yeah, I haven't got the fuel in it anymore. There you go. Put the fuel back in. So, from sea level, 1750. We're rounding down. 1750 plus 1550, we're rounding up. So 1800 plus 1500, aka 3300. That's good. That gets us there. It's not too tight, not overly tight, not overly over budgeted either. Drogue shoot? If it looks like, I think we're going to fly with it without that, but I will keep that in mind. If it looks like it would benefit us in the long run, maybe for another design of this ship, a little addition afterwards. Problem right now is we have not a lot of control authority. This is the Reliant. Yeah, here, this is the Reliant. We're down to 1.39 TWR, so I don't want to add any more weight either. But we have no gimbling on that engine. We have just a little bit of SAS help up front. So we're going to need some fins, I think. As Jim is laughing evilly. If we were to have it be 2... Thank you, Jim. Jim has just discovered the ability to play sounds. Thought he would be drowning. Sonic? Hello, Sonic. Wow, like, with this particular size and then those... Am I crazy, or are those wings, like, fucking huge? It seems so massive. I believe this is the 16th? Or is it the 15th ship? Don't save. Show me what we're on. Yeah, it's the 16th ship. So here's the 16, and it's going to be, it's very penile. It's 4, then it's three parachutes for 3 parachutes for 4. for 4. Yeah, because it's tourism. It's table for green splotch on surface. Anyone? Table for green splotch on surface. Save that, and then let's look again over this. You fire, and then you drop that stage, you switch on to liquid fuel, and you drop that stage, and then we're hitting all of our parachutes coming home. This has got a chance. Because of the fins that we had to put on, we're up to 10,000. It's a bit of a nuisance, a bit of a bother. I'm not super happy with how much that costs. But we will be bringing back the bulk of it. I just hate those fins having to cost us money, but I'm going to go with it. I think this is a good idea. In fact, this is supposed to be the Mark 1. Save you. And, well, I'm thinking about that. Let's go ahead and delete the one that it isn't. Let's get rid of you. Delete that guy. Yep. And, well, I'm also thinking about that. I remember there was a 13 in here that needed to be deleted. Okay, a little bit of file management cleanup, and I think we're ready to send 4 Kerbals to their demise. Space is the thing, not their demise. Roy Collins, Jeffrey Smith, Marina Lang, and Sylvie Lefebvre. Sylvie L. More wings, Pawn. Give her more wings. It's a 4x4 -1. It's all about price with this ship. With my tourist ships, I want it to cost as little as it possibly can. Honestly, if this flight goes well, I'm ripping the fins off for the next one and seeing if we can't get it up there somehow. Save the thing and put the people on the pad, I think. No thrust to weight ratio adjustment to be made, because we're probably already at about 1.38 on our lifter stage. Oh goodness. Look at the color on this one. Hello, Sylvie L, we're saying. And then clones. Twin brothers is what we've got. Twin brothers Roy Collins and Jeffrey Smith. One of them took their wife's name. Very progressive, very modern thinking. SAS on, throttle to full. My readings up here. Click all the buttons.
In 3, 2, 1, fire!
We are off and away on the Reliant liquid fuel engine. Already at a good TWR. Also already falling down the wrong direction. So I'm going to, push us in the direction that we wanted to go around the planet. Odd that we'd be pulled off to the west. First thing. Don't fight me. There you go. Try and hold it over there. Looked into some of the mods you guys have recommended too, in terms of visuals and things like that. And I like the look of them. I appreciate your offers and stuff. You're gonna just point me at things that are cool, that work, that are good. But I'm gonna let you know right now that I think I'm probably done messing with my mod installation. After having whoa. Okay. Why? But why, though?
Oh, shit.
I thought we were just gonna be fine. I kind of stopped thinking about it. But we're definitely not making it. But, Yep, and then, we're pretty low in the atmosphere at this point. So, I don't mind a little bit of flipping here. Alright, let's bring all that back. When we've got tourists on board, if we scrub a flight, then we play it out until I get bored and then start reverting, kind of a thing. But it's the first screw-up of the day. So we take the hit on this, is the idea. The drag overlay? Yeah, I guess we could try that when we launch it again. I mean, we could try it now. F12. Aerodynamic forces overlay is enabled. I guess I could hold retrograde here, and then we'd be able to slow ourselves down with the engines if that were needed. Parachutes seem to add quite a bit of drag, honestly. I'm going to pull that back down. How are we doing? 315 meters per second at 3 kilometers. I'm going to burn the engines a little bit to try and get our parachutes into a place where I feel comfortable opening them. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And the parachutes are gone. And so are the tourists. Wow, I really didn't think that we would have that much trouble slowing that ship down, you know, to a reasonable, and I thought that anything below 300 also was going to be fine for popping the parachutes, but yeah, it'll buff right out. I'm going to go ahead and take the revert on that. And I just wanted to go back to launch. We'll fly it again. But there might be something to be done with those parachutes then, if they're causing us a significant amount of drag. I wasn't really paying attention when we lost it, when it started to go over. So I want to see it. I want to just fly the same thing for a second time and see how it works out, because, yeah, I was being chatty and not actually trying to steer the ship. I think I was steering the ship without actually trying to steer the ship. But in 3, 2, 1, off and away. I also had a pretty good trust, that we were going to go in the right direction and stuff, because we had these fins. These fins are right here to help us. We were already good and far out of the lower atmosphere, where things tend to be
Just skipping
problematic.
me entirely now, are we?
I didn't realize that you were still in this temporal line after we
Until our hearts stop.
after we made that adjustment, Houston. I thought you might have been left in the previous, era or something. Okay, I'm paying attention this time to the bubble. We've got it following the prograde. I'm not messing with it. I'm not touching on it at all right now. Apoapsis is at 13 kilometers. Dead center of our prograde bubble at about 55 degrees. 20 kilometers on the apoapsis. Slipping down the ball at a nice and steady rate. 15 kilometers still dead on prograde. We are now ship at 20 kilometers. Getting ready to drop this stage. Dropping the stage. Apoapsis at 59 kilometers. Ship at 30. Apoapsis at 65 kilometers. 69. 70. 71. 72.5, shutting down the engines. And holding prograde for the rest of our way up. We've got 1,200 meters per second remaining, and not a lot of speed made for orbit is what I would call that. But, we didn't go toppling anyway. And the ship, flew itself pretty well. Up to space as of now, and I'm going to give us an F5. I'm throwing off the nose cone. 1239 meters per second now that we've lost the weight of the nose cone. And out to map mode to burn. A little bit higher. Right there, though. Can you hold it? Good. We have a weight imbalance because the parachutes are on specifically one side of the ship. Which means that, you know, it is kind of difficult for it to hold it right now. But it is holding. And we've stopped the Apwaps from falling. It's now chasing us, I think. Nope, Apwaps is still falling. I'll be looking for my opportunity to nose back down. Halfway through the liquid fuel in this stage. Okay, Apwaps coming up to us. And I'm nosing down to meet it. 10 degrees on the bubble, holding the Apwaps with us. Starting to let it slip ahead. Nose down a bit. And that should probably be the last little adjustment we really need to make around the Apwaps there. 300 meters per second of delta V left in the stage. Apwaps trying to run away on me. I'm going to start throttling down. .70 meters per second of delta V left in the stage. We are just barely orbital. With 10 meters per second of delta V left in the craft, we have made orbit. Holy. Holy. You guys didn't want to come home, did you? Yeah, that's you should be excited. I saved you just enough to come home. Well, this is everything I always asked for, which was spending as little as humanly possible on these Kerbals, and still getting paid for the work. Are we getting paid for the work? Yes, everybody has suborbited and orbited, except for, you know, we require things of ourselves that the game doesn't bother with. We have 200 and some electric charge. Ooh, that's the thing that I should... Oh no, we built it from the last one, which means that this should be already hibernate and warp auto. It is. Good. We don't bring up any, you know, solar panel generation or anything like that, because we're not going to be here that long. But we do like to give the Kerbals a once round for their amusement. So... they are amused, they are amused, they are amused, they are amused. They're still amused in the dark. It's not the darkness. And now they're kind of bored as the sun rises. It has nothing to do with the darkness. But I think they're all racists. Whatever that continent is that we were over back there, this continent, I think they just hate it so much. The moment that they look down at it, they're like, I don't know about this. Ugh. Alright, everybody, that was it. That was your once round the ball, except for you get kind of 1.5 times round the ball, because we're going to try and land you near the Space Center, and honestly, with 10 meters per second of delta V left, I think we're probably just... Our Apwaps is on this side of the things. I think maybe we gotta just burn it down from our Apwaps, from where we are right now, in fact, and not try to get near the Space Center, because, you know, I want this to be as deep a cut as possible. I want to be in the air as not long as we can. So we're on our retrograde, a little bit of an F5, and from here I'm just going to burn everything that we got. And that got us down to 60 on the periapsis, it's 59 point something. And because I've got the trajectories mod installed, it shows that we'll be making... Shoot, we might land at the space in terms of how long we're going to be in atmosphere on this one. But go ahead and hold your prograde, hold the surface prograde, and we're bringing these boys down. and lady, but mainly it's twins. Into Atmo. Oh, you guys are upside down right now, aren't you? There you go. 4 times Fizz Warp, and let's join our passengers inside. I mean, I'd hit that. No, I think I'm more into the blue. Sorry. And then the brothers. Oh, jeez. This guy's got scars. Dude's messed up. Holy. Franken-Kerbal. Yeah, you've been cut together. That's a hard life you lived. Wait a second, let me see the other one. He hasn't lived that hard of a life. We got Franken-Kerbal on board here, everybody. Damn. We are at 4 times Fizz, yeah. Yeah, Pong, you killed him 10 minutes ago. Why is there a blue Kerbal? I've got some mods installed. Maybe. I may have. Oh, by the way, yeah, you guys should probably look out the window and see the planet. No? No? Oh, and see? You see? Linux Guru Gamer? You see? I have to go over here and again... Yeah. Give some ambient lighting. It doesn't save the settings between goes. Save as default. There, I've clicked the button. I've clicked it in the other scene. I've clicked it here. We'll see. I don't, you know, over time we will find out one way or another. What's your problem? Huh? I don't care about you. Who clicked oxidize? I didn't click no oxidizer. Go away. Are we in free mode? In free cam. And yeah. We're at 4 times Fizz. I told you it was going to take a minute. It's still pulling our periapsis down. It's yet to embed into the surface of Kerbin. I am free from class. What are we doing? Asked Mephistopheles. We have 4 Kerbals on board for a little orbital tourism. We just whipped this craft up pretty quick, too. Sent it up here once, and had to use the magical time machine in order to keep everybody not dead after first flight. I just wasn't even looking at the controls. But just a little tourist mission is what we've got going on. No. I didn't mean to press V. I like free mode. Stop spinning. Okay, free cam. We are following prograde and surface, so you guys should be fine for that. Back inside. The sounds of the ship rattling. We've got a bit of acne there. I'm still into it, though. It's the blue that turns me on, so I don't care. Yeah, check out this guy's face, Mephistopheles. It's messed up, man. It's messed up. I should probably check outside the ship here. Yeah, things are getting a little warm. And a little bit, you know, sonic boomy. Wow, it is having trouble holding its surface prograde. Why? Why would that be? Why would you be going off in that direction? It's silly. I guess it's fine. Alright, I'm slowing down the time warp now. I'm trying to get you guys, you know, upright. Okay, yeah, this might do better with the big SAS unit on it instead of the little one. I think that's what we want. Parachutes are deployable this time, so that's good. Any difference in... No, looks like we're going to be over water. Can't really tell from map mode, but only one sound barrier shape. But we keep passing through it over and over again. Deploy! Deploy what? Deploy? What are you... telling me to deploy. Oh, the parachutes? Okay. SAS off. Parachutes are away. This is a much heavier ship than it used to be. We've added one parachute for that sake. But, you know, we don't really know for a fact what we're going to see here. Full deployment on the chutes. And this is a really nice descent speed. You know, 7 meters per second. It's going to get better as we get lower toward the surface. That's probably the best that we, you know, could expect to do on a craft that's as heavy as this that we're bringing back and throwing parachutes on. And it's holding itself fairly flat. I'm going to open up the part that we can't even see. If we were coming down on land, then, you know, the idea is that we'd be hitting the ground with that and with the ship's clit. Technical term. But yeah, that works enough to send a tourist up. It could use some tweaks, and I think one of the best things we could do for ourselves is to put the big reaction wheel unit on it instead of the little one that we've got tucked in here. We do have a small inline reaction wheel in there, but we can put a big one on, and because we're bringing it home, it doesn't contribute to the cost of launching the ship in terms of, you know, paying for tourists. Although it will increase the weight a little bit, and we were so close on this go-uppance, and it flew pretty nicely in terms of just turning over. It could have pulled down a little bit sooner, I think, is the thing. And our tourists have returned safely. We recover the vessel, and we recover, I think, over 100,000 Kerboingans. We'll just keep putting the Ker prefix in front of word shapes and sounds I make with my mouth hole. No science earned there, because we were on the other side of the planet coming down, which we only did because we got up there with only 10 units of Delta V. Usually I would aim to come down near the KSC. We only got back 1,645 funds from what we launched, which kind of sucks. But regardless, you know, all of our tourists have leveled up as tourists, and we're right back over 1 million Kerbuckazoids again. How much does it cost to get into R&D? It costs 670 something. We need to buy into R&D soon. We can't get into this until we buy into R&D. R&D, the research and development. R and G, random and generator. There's still a few like things that we can buy into out of these tiers, but we might want to be skipping some of these tiers when the science comes in. We won't be able to until we research. Research. That's what's going to happen there. But yeah, that was a good mission, and we've got a ship that we can iterate on in future for more little tourist missions. I would like to make, you know, little touch adjustments before we move on. I think this needed to come a little bit. One of them needed to do something, and I'm going to slide this one back just a little bit. Something like that. Yeah. And then the other thing that I wanted to try, which we'll try just, you know, we'll wait until we've got another contract, another set of 4 Yahoos to send up. But let's get rid of that. I say let's get rid of that. And before we get to the heat shield, put on an advanced inline stabilizer. Yeah. What's the difference in weight there? I presume it'll be doubled. No, it's yeah, it's doubled. Doubled on the weight on that particular unit, leaving us with Delta V of, from sea level, 1750 plus We're actually switching over to this a lot earlier than that. 1750 plus 1312. That's not... I don't know where we are when we're dropping that off, but let's say 11 kilometers. Did anyone pay real good attention and note when we dropped the first stage? I'm going to assume it was around 11, 12K. 17 and 14, 1750, and a little bit over 14. That's really, really, like, not enough liquid fuel to get that up consistently. Just thinking of ways that I might be able to tack a little bit of extra fuel on the part that comes back, you know, if we were to wedge an Oscar B in somewhere or something like that, just a little bit of fuel. Yeah, I think if I leave it like that, it's not gonna make it. If we lost that parachute again, you know, which I don't really want to do. The drogue, though, was a suggestion. Gets us back a little bit of weight, not much. It's less weight recovered than I think we just added. The thing we could do for the Mark II is just not have any fins. Untested. May need fins. If we throw the fins away, how much do the fins weigh? They were 0.078 each, which means 0.15 tons that we just got back by throwing them off. And then the sea level, we get picked up an extra 30 meters per second of delta V there, and nothing really from the tip, kind of a deal. That'll be the next time that we try and send people up. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to pop into the 3 parachutes for 4 Mark II. Maybe it should be 2 parachutes, but we'll give that a try the next time we have a contract like that. Yeah. I think I've been successful this live stream so far at being significantly more boring, which is a hard thing for me to do. But I need to tone it down a little bit, at least on some of the days. You know, when I'm feeling real good, we'll crank it out. We'll rock out with cocks out. Anything new come up, or is it time to actually finish off Minmus? Because once we finish off Minmus, we can go to the moon. Test the skipper at the launch site. That gets us a free skipper for a mission. I kind of am interested in having a free skipper for a minute. Seismic surveys of Kerbin. 5 of them. Ugh. We'd have to develop a special vessel for that as well. I don't think I'm into it today. Low resolution altimetry scan set of the moon is something that we will want to do. It's going to run out of time if we don't. We can do the Minmus mission and be back before that expires, right? No, doesn't it take 11 days to get up to Minmus? Yeah, so I'd have to take that now if I'm going to take it. It'll max out our active contracts. Let's look at where these temperature surveys of Minmus are, because we're about to go try and land on Minmus and come back. And maybe we could do that, you know. We could try and land where those contracts are. Oh, they're all the fuck over the place. Never mind. If they would have been grouped together. Oh, and they're those kinds of... I thought they were on the surface. Yeah, I was thinking, okay, a mission for the surface. Well, there is something for the surface, though, right here. What is it? Yeah, that's a hell of a noise that I've given you guys control of, isn't it? That's a nasty one. If anybody was starting to nod off at home, welcome back to Back to, you know, the sound of every alarm clock in 1986. I'm sorry. On the surface for Kerbodyne, what is that mission about? Is that what I was looking at? You know, if we take it and it's just one site, it's going to expand and expand again because someone in the development team thought that was a cool idea. Hey, what if we don't let people know what they're going to do before when they take the mission and they're reviewing the information? And you know how sometimes we kind of like hide the important information, we don't accentuate it? What if we had some missions where we just don't even fucking tell them what they're going to have to do? Pawn actually remembers 1986. Pepperidge Farm, at least, does. Is this the one? No. What is the... It was from Kerbodyne. It was a temperature survey near the Mephistopheles Jr. I mean, if we've got the Mephistopheles Jr. there, I don't want to land on that site again anyway. So, yeah, to balls with all that, I'm just going to grab this mission. Yeah, I'm just going to grab the scan set so that we don't miss it. I don't want it expiring while we're doing the other mission. And what we're going to do, friends, is we're going to Minmus. It's going to be our first return from Minmus mission. We're going to send a probe there, set it down on Minmus, and then collect some science in places that we haven't before so that we can, you know, rake up some science here. And then we got to bring it all the way home. So we'll be sending a probe home from Minmus, and that's going to be a big test of whether or not I've gotten the issue with Restock's probes overheating actually solved in this playthrough. Because we're going to go all the way to Minmus and do the mission before we find out when we send it back whether or not the thing explodes due to overheating. But that will all be after a live stream break. Yes, after a live stream break, everyone. Have a quick poke in at the city of Detroit here for a moment. Just going to pull it up on my screen full so I can see it. Campus Martius, it hasn't caught fire or anything, so that's good. People driving around, I really need to figure out where that is. Like, there's literally you can see a street name right there, and I don't know where that is. But trains frequently pass it, which is why I've got it in here. And then the Detroit River right there. I believe looking at the Canadian side right now. Canada and Detroit have a bit of a pollution war going on. We each build our toxic things on the river in the hopes that it will push over to the other person's side. And because of the natural spin, you know, the natural direction that weather moves on the planet, Detroit has a bit of an upper hand there. And, yep, traffic down there at the border, but nothing too interesting going on at the Detroit. Live stream breaks are when Pawn flies out of the house to do some vigilantism. Don't tell them. Don't tell them, then they'll know that I'm not actually, you know, bedridden and taking the breaks so I can get my breath. Back in 7 minutes, everybody. Don't go anywhere. Pawn not out. Hello, I am the Ronin Pawn, and welcome back to a twitch.tv/Ronin Pawn live stream on twitch.tv/Ronin Pawn. Budging the mic. Ooh, Transport Fever, yeah. All my thumbnails scrolling through. I picked out some just, just thinking of you, Jim. Just thinking of you. Lady Pawn made me a little bagel. Live stream bagels turned into a thing. But we're in Kerbal Space Program today. And as long as we are, we don't need Mickey. We don't need the music is the don't laugh at me, damn mouse. I just said at the beginning of this I can't actually hear him laugh, so I'm just guessing that I hope that he had already laughed at that point, and otherwise the timing was wrong. Welcome back. I think we're headed to Minmus. I don't think I know. We're headed to Minmus, and we want to build a craft that will land. We're in Probes Before Crew, the mod that makes Kerbal Space Program's pacing, work. We want to build a craft that lands and returns. A probed craft that will land on Minmus and come home. While eating a bagel is the real challenge, though. First thing to know is that the Octo is the only probe core in the game that's any good at surviving a re-entry. So, even though we'd like to take the Hex, we got to take the Octo. If it's going to be coming home, and it's going to be, re-entering, just it, without any other kind of wrapping around it, without like throwing on a big heat shield underneath it. If it's going to actually use the heat shield that it's supposed to use, then we got to send the Octo, not the Hex. Hex will overheat on re-entry very easily. Octo at least has a chance. So what do we want to do with this lander? What do we want out of this lander? What do we expect from this lander? It's going to Minmus, right? For Minmus, there's no reason to bother with things like liquid fuel and oxidizer. Minmus is A-OK to be done on RCS, a monoprop. Is it, though, for return? You need to return pawn, which means you might have to actually build a decent little craft here. Well, if we're going to do that, then probably what we could do is start from the subassembly we've just made of the scan set thing, rip the scan set part off of it, rip you guys off, because we won't need all of that power, and then we've got a little base on which to, build our lander, which is definitely going to be science capable, very science capable. We want to get everything that we possibly can, hopefully from multiple sites on Minmus, if we can still find anywhere to land where we haven't already. How many things am I going to end up with? I'm going to have one. We have the fluid spectrovariometer. The fluid spectrovariometer. Not that that's of any use to us on Minmus, I just didn't know that we had it. We have unlocked that, is the thing that you can now say. I'm going to try and, counterbalance it's a very lightweight craft. Every little something matters. Or doesn't. I don't know. Probably not. Gonna have one mystery goo. We got the thermometer. We need a seismic accelerometer. Mometer. This is the Hex, pawn. Remember you were saying about you needed the Octo? Right. No, I know. Yeah. I was staring at it for a while, saying, why are there 6 sides on the octo? That's weird. We need the octo. Because I was thinking specifically about I could get the weight balanced from all of these things by having one of them on each of the 4 sides that don't have vents on them. And then I looked at it and was like, why are there's a lot of things here that shouldn't be here. Why are all these things here? So one on each of all the 4 sides, and then we don't have another one. But what we can do is get rid of the battery. Put you back on, and I'll sort you out in a minute, actually. Get rid of the battery, and then put on a small Z100, which is also 0.005 tons. Yeah. I gotta start making the effort to be better about this. When we're building the VAB, I want you guys to be able to see over here. When we're near the end of the build, I want to switch it over so that you guys can see the Delta V as I'm tinkering with it. Nope, you almost had it. There you go. Yeah. Now we will want power generation on this guy, but we don't need like a full deployable rig necessarily. I could go 4. I mean, it's a lander, so you'd want them kind of pointed up would be good. If we did 2 on the top, like this, but then angled up. And just gotta get it to a place where it looks like it could actually be built this way. Which I think is probably there. Yeah. And then I'm gonna take that and just nudge you down a little bit. In fact, if I'm doing that, I'll nudge all you down a little bit. You don't need to, actually, because the thermometer has a smaller area that it covers. Yeah. Nudge you down a little. Okay. So that is science, power. We need comms. We're a little effed for comms, for where I can stick it, you know. It means it's just we're gonna have a weight imbalance unless I throw the battery away and use the antenna for our comms. And push you a bit like that. Yeah. That's fine. A-okay by my standard. I don't think anything else needs to go on there. You could have a navigation light for no reason. 0.001 tons. Even less impact than the 0.005 ton kind of things. Which side would be the dorsal side I'm looking at? So then let's put it here. Why not? Throw a little light on there. It's a light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. In fact, we'll put 2 of them. Lights on. Color. Just gonna give it a little. Give it some. Hang on, you guys can't. Give it some color. But what I want to do is like let's have it in the blue spectrum. And then it's mostly white, but it's got a little touch of that cold blueness to the light it casts. Yeah. and then the light's back off. And we can make this blend in. There. Matches the... Oh yeah, I like that our little lander probe has hips now. Looks like it should be thrusting, thrusting, thrusting. I like it. And I think that's it. I think that's the whole damned thing. So, put a decoupler under it. And change the root part to the decoupler. And I think this is probably worth saving in sub-assemblies as well. So sub-assemblies, and you, and this is a probe science, let's say Minmus science lander, something like that. God damn it. I clicked the wrong, it's in probe. Minmus Science Lander. Something like that. Thank you. So now we've got that pre-built for the future. And we send her up. How do we send her up? What are we going to do with her once she's up? What kind of a mothership should we send it up on? I'm going to ask this bagel. Good God. What's your problem, game? Wow, it really hates... What do you really hate? If I go all the way up, then you'll allow me to close it. Oh, it's the antenna. Yeah, it's the way the antenna pokes out there. That's your problem. There's your problem. Alright, well, let's go above the antenna then. To hell with it. Make a reasonably pointy tip. So the thing to think about here is we gotta take it to Minmus and then drop it, right? Do we? What's the delta V on that little lander? I have to make the root part U again. Once you're too confused to give me information. You're still too confused to give me information. What do you want from me? No, I made you the root part. Which means... Okay. Just pull you off in order to find out. No, you won't tell me here either. Oh, good. Oh, Kerbal, what? As long as I'm holding it, I can get some readings. And I put it down and it doesn't work anymore. Is anyone making sense of, like, why this would be happening? I'm gonna change you, and then change you. There you go. I had to change it to a different root part, and then go back to the same root part it was, and now it's working. Thank you. 1,952 meters per second in DV, and if we're around Minmus, then we'll also have 9.55 TWR with that tiny little babby wee engine there. But yeah, this thing actually can just be sent to Minmus from orbit, from LKO. It costs... 930 to go out to Minmus, 160 to circularize it, 180 to land, and, you know, not a lot to get home, so we would be fine on all of that. So that's interesting. It's just weird to think of this probe pushing itself all the way to Minmus, you know, landing, and then doing the mission and coming home. It's the right way to go about it. It's just kind of blowing my mind that that's how that's going to go. Just how efficient that is. It's going to take a long time from LKO in order to burn that engine to get, you know, all the way out to Minmus, but we will wait for efficiency. For efficiency, we wait. So give me engines and swivel. And what do we get from sea level? 2200 from altitude. Go ahead and hit a TD12 on there. What are you looking for? I guess I'm looking at the thumper again. What does the hammer do from sea level? Not a lot. 500. Plus 2600. It kind of almost works, actually. I mean, it's, yeah. We're 550 and 2600, 3150, and then we're throwing everything down and back into Atmo and going. That's not bad. That could work. It's not going to burn for very long, but that could work. As long as we got all that DV in the satellite, in the lander probe, we might as well use it, huh? 65.5. Wow, incredibly simple little thing. And we will be using the swivel, so we'll have no problem with authority. We don't even need to be turned over, you know, or turning over on this hammer, because it's going to be out pretty quick, is what I assume. I think it could be as simple as this. To go to Minmus and return with a single vessel, a single little probe there. I think we could do that. So this would be the 17th craft. And it is, you know, the Minmus lander. Minmus return. Save it, and then let's look at the staging. So, from sea level, incidentally, right? From sea level, 539, we throw that off, and then we fire up the liquid fuel engine, which, from about 5 kilometers, would have about another 2600 in its belly for us. And then we get rid of that guy, continue burning until we're completely out, and then we pop off and go with the probe. Yeah. Simple and effective. Hi, Ronan. Hi, chat. Hello, world. Hello. How you doing? Regilpt. How you doing? It's all of those letters make my mind go pilot. It just says pilot in there. You know, you got your P's and your T's, your I's, your L's. It's all in there. The G is basically an O with a tail. It's all in there. RG is fine. RG.
Hey, RG, how you doing, RG? Down at the plane, RG.
Minmus returner is what I'm going with as I munch this bagel. I'm almost done with it. Save. And launch? Really? Boy, when I'm boring, we actually get some stuff done. You know, last live stream was took a lot longer to get just a couple of things done, but we did manage to discuss, you know, several seasons worth of Star Trek: The Next Generation. SAS on, throttle to whatever. Wait. Houston, don't talk to me.
In 3,
Ah,
2,
damn it. It's too
1,
late.
fire.
We have to go. Once Houston starts counting, there's no turning back from that. You have to. You have to go. And we're going. What I was going to do was actually, like, name that craft after somebody in chat. When I opened the raffle, we were going to do that. Like, 4 times now, I have forgotten to do it. Is how I feel. Can I bump us at all down the bubble?
We are many. You
I
are
can.
but one.
I am but many. You are... Wait, no. Thank you for the follow. Knocking this thing down a little bit to the right. And we're on to the liquid fuel stage already. What kind of controlness do I have over you? I'm afraid of you. You know that, don't you? We're already at 11 kilometers on the apoapsis. It did know that I was afraid of it.
In 3, 2, 1, fire.
Just spray this around a little bit. I'm intentionally wagging my tail around now just to throw. Oy vey. Well, we might as well test the rest of the craft. So I've blown off the fairing, and there you go. Just drop that a bit there, and then fire us up. Okay. Does the antenna come out and go in? I mean, what we're testing is that's why we did this launch this way. Oh no, it doesn't. Gonna have to look at why the antenna won't come out and go in. I do not speak Russian. No. I do a very bad and insulting impersonation while playing Kerbal Space Program on KSP TV channel back in the day. I do that. Everybody remember that? I had what was it? It was like the KGB KSP was what I was trying to do there, something like that. Not insulting, it was funny, and we don't remember porn. Oh, well then it was hilarious, and everyone loved it. Yeah. Okay, that's impact tolerance stress test. That's what I expected to see. All right, good work, everybody. Let's recover that vessel. Submarine. It's a spy thing. That's why I couldn't put it on the flight manifest. That's what we were doing, but obviously that's what we were always doing. I mean, obviously everybody knows. So what? So buttons. So oh right. Let's do that raffle. And if you didn't get into this raffle, then it's too late. I'm already rolling it. There were only 3 people entered. It was a while ago that we did this. And a winner is Little Magnet.
Rigged.
Yes, apparently it is. Yeah, do you want me to do it again? Yeah, let's re-roll, because Little Magnets, that's a bit... Congratulations, Little Magnets. You have just won yourself the... What the hell is this? The double-stuffed ScanSat Mark 1. That's your name now. Actually, yeah. Instead of... We're going to do this differently than we usually do. Instead of me naming this after you, you now go to the Twitch settings and change your name to double-stuffed ScanSat Mark 1. That's what you were... That's what you were in... What you were raffling for. So the Kerbin, ScanSat, and yeah, Little Magnets, will do's. The KSS, Kiss, Kiss. That's yep. And in fact, I'm gonna go out and see you. You've been spinning the planet for a minute. We ran a couple of missions. I want to know what you're doing with your life and whether or not you have scanned, you know, a decent portion of this planet yet. You're pointing entirely in the wrong direction. Oh my god. I knew it was going to be like this with you, little magnets. Point your sensors at the ground. And time warp, so I don't have to mess with it. Alright, let's see what you've done for us so far. Scan sat. Give me the big one. Not a lot, honestly. I would have expected a little bit more out of you. I guess the problem is I've just been too damned efficient in playing the game, getting things done, running missions, and just, you know, So we haven't actually passed a lot of time. We've passed less in-game time than we have in real life, is how this has worked out, isn't it? Well, let's change that. Let's change that by going to Minmus. I thought this was for the Minmus purposes, Mephistopheles. No, but we will have a raffle for that as well. That's why I wanted to just roll on the people who had entered back when we were actually running that mission, and I kind of forgot about it. Then inviting a bunch of new people who were like, I wasn't even here for that, but I won, alright. What am I going to do in order to make this thing more stable going up? It's a question we need to ask ourselves. Incredibly simple. It's got the swivel. The main problem is, like, I could just launch it again and fly it better, you know? If I turn us down earlier, then I won't feel compelled to be fighting against the atmosphere while we're still low in it, trying to, you know, knock us down, trying to bump us down. But if I turn us over earlier, I can just kind of leave it on prograde and fly by accelerator instead of, you know, by actually changing the ship. Less speed, less drag, less instability. Yeah, I'll fly by speed. And, you know, I could go ahead and knock this down too. What are we at when we do that? At 5K, right? We're still at 5 kilometers. It says our TWR when we're on that is 2.99. So we could knock that down a little bit with, you know, a little bit more than pre-thrust limiting. A little pre-thrust limiting. Let's say right around 2, maybe a little bit less than 2. We're starting out with 1.4, burn up to probably around 2, and then if we drop back a little bit to 1. What do we have? I like the 1.85. 1.9 is what we're going to do then. You know, that'll be full. Or put fins on it. Yeah, that's the other way to go. I don't think we should need fins on something this. It's weird too. Like, where would you put the fins? Like, we're fine when we're on this stage, so I wouldn't want them on this. We're throwing that away. It's here. And then if I put fins up here, then we create a center of lift that's here, which means that the stability of the craft is right at its center point, which means that we make it less stable until we, you know, actually start controlling it. Which I guess isn't a problem, because we don't need to do anything while this is burning. I don't need to turn down. I would like to turn down. Let's fly it this way. If it doesn't work, I'll put some fins up there. Kind of weird concept to stick fins in the middle, but we've done it a couple of times, haven't we? Launcher. And I'll just try and fly it better. Get her turning down the ball on her own earlier, and then fly it by speed. SAS on. Throttle to, yep, full, because we did the thrust limiting. So that's pretty okay. Houston, could you give me a countdown, please?
In 3, 2. Why am I doing this? It's a plane takeoff. There's no countdown necessary.
That's a weird way to say 1, Houston. That is a weird way to say 1. But I heard what you were going for, and I got in there on it. So don't worry about that at all. Okay, at 40 meters per second, I started to, you know, bump it. At 50, I held it. And yeah, there you go. Now I'm just gonna try and help it follow its prograde as it turns by itself. No more pulling on it, just follow your prograde as you go. Nope, 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 nope. We were gonna fly by speed. Okay. Nope. Okay, I'm not flying by speed. I'm flying by flying. Okay, now I'm flying by speed a little bit. We're at 18 kilometers, 36 on the apoapsis. I definitely want it to pull down. It definitely want it to pull down. Okay, firing up all the way. 69, 70 on the app, 71, 72, 73, and killing the engines at 73.5 kilometers, and nope, nope, nope. Alright, fine. You're just gonna topple on your way up. That's beautiful. I don't care. I guess I'm used to, you know, I'm expecting the hex. And that it would hold to its prograde, so I'm thinking, all right, now I can just stop messing. No, you need to continue pointing at where it's going to be going, because you're on the octo for the sake of its returnability. Wait, it can't return. It can't return. I didn't build it to return. I just made a lander that lands, but it doesn't come off the thing and come home. Yeah. You know, I'm gonna blame you. I'm blaming everyone in chat right now. This is your fault. How you guys gonna let me get away with that? I have reasons. I can be like, I have brain fog, I have neurological symptoms from my disease, all that kind of thing. What's your neurological disease problems that you got that you didn't look at this and say, wait, so this is coming back, and you didn't put there's no way for it to come back. Well, did you think about maybe giving it a way to come back? Your fault, not mine. So in terms of it having a way to come back, I don't know. I wasn't thinking about that when we designed it. But I would like it to, come back on its own, without doing anything crazy, without adding a whole bunch of stuff to it. I just want it to fly itself back to Kerbin, drop itself into atmosphere, and survive. Which it should be able to do if it could hold its retrograde, but it can't because it doesn't have that facility. Drogue chute should work. Oh, really? On a probe this small, you could just get away with the drogue? I've never even tried such a thing, but since you say so, then I will, yes, with you I will. Yeah, this is a whole, how did I expect any of this to happen? is a good question. Yeah, I just wasn't building for it to actually return, even though that was the whole damn point of this mission. I'm clicking all the fuck over you. This is, where do you want me to click? Thanks, Kerbal. Look at how much of this area is not hoverable on this part. Squad, look at how much look at the majority of this part is not, and then in there apparently. That's where the actual grabbability of the part begins. Wow. Wow. It's like basic shit, man. That's like 3D modeling, basic fucking, come on. What are you doing? What are you doing? So yeah, I have to. This is a pretty significant like redesign. If it needs to be able to come home, and it does need to be able to come home. Because of the two things that it needs, which is a place for this drogue to go on, and, you know, a decoupling point to expose our ablator. And now that I'm thinking about re-entry and stuff like that, we'll be coming home from Minmus Heights, so it will be a quick re-entry, you know. It's gonna get hot, it's gonna generate plasma. If we've got anything in the cone that can pull it off to one side, it's going to pull it off to one side. So it's a pretty significant, you know, it's I think it's a completely different thing from just tacking everything onto the probe and sending it. I think the probe needs a housing. Do I have the, I do have the experiment storage unit. So the idea behind using the experiment storage unit is we need all of these, you know, science-y... I mean, we don't need all of them, but we need some of these science-y MacGuffins to actually come home with us. Unless I bring one of these, which is 0.05 tons. And then we can throw the science off. Leave the science on the surface of Minmus. Alright, Pawn, start ripping it apart. I don't know what you're gonna do, but it's not this, anyway. I have done it in every direction, and I still don't fucking know. All the directions now. All of... There you go. Thanks. Thanks, Kerbal. F absolute snap. Can you use the storage unit without a Kerbal? Yes, you can. I have done that in previous playthroughs. In fact, really, it's the whole point of the unit when you, you know, after you've got the ability for a Kerbal to leave the pod, then the Kerbal can always kind of jump out, grab stuff, jump back in. For a Kerbal, it's just a convenience feature at that point to not have to get them out and float around and everything. But for a probe-controlled vessel, this is how you can collect all of the science into one place. Throw those away. Electricity. Sort by mass. Two of these. Little bit of angle to them. Except for I don't... you... Oh, well, they're attached to you. So that's the problem. Alright. Again. Two of you. Like that. Comms somewhere else. Like that. I don't hate it. Pull the science off, throw it away. Yeah, we're rebuilding. We're rebuilding from scratch here. Just a completely different vessel. So first it's the return stage, and this could be the return stage completely right there. We could say that that's all of it. What do I have for structural? Yeah, no. It's like, there's a part of me that really wants to send this thing home as the probe using that heat shield, because it should be capable of doing that without overheating, and if it doesn't, then you know, the game are broken. But I feel like it would make more sense to make this in such a way that it comes up to the standard size of thing, not the 0.0 or 0.625, but the 1.12111512. Well, you know, continue making it anyway. So, give me you there. Nope. And for the one that gives us one of those. And then, like that. Ends up being a very weird looking little thing. And that gives us the ability to land. What kind of DV are we talking about so far? In vacuum. $13.44. Lost a lot of delta V for that. And that turns into something that can't fly itself there and come home. Now that we've got the weight of... Yeah, I right-clicked and that happened. What the fuck, Kerbal? It threw me the hell off, because I reached over and I hit right-click, and it grabbed it. And it grabbed all of it, instead of just grabbing, like, oh, are you the root part now? Oh, okay. Jesus. I don't think I like where this is going. Now, it would have been great as it was before, but I don't like any of that. You know, it's kind of like, why bring the experiment storage unit if we're going to bring the parts all the way back to Kerbin anyway, which we're going to have to, because this is how it would get back to Kerbin, you know, kind of a deal. And then we've also made it so heavy that it can't push itself without a larger fuel tank, and if we're adding a larger fuel tank, then it should just be in the different scale. And that's where I am with this thing, is that it should just be in the different scale. Still? No, fuck it, we're using the hex then. We're using the hex, because it's going to be in a different scale. And that scale is going to allow us to use the big heat shield. So, structural. Not structural. Fairings, payload. Yeah, I'm thinking you. Yeah. And then take the shroud off. No, alright. Couldn't figure out
You
exactly.
all know exactly who I am. Say my name.
Pika Pop, are you not already VIP? Pika Pop has just redeemed Make Me Walter White which is VIP, and you were already VIP of this channel, I was pretty sure. So I guess that's just an extra way of flexing then. Move you guys over there, damn it. It's a different flexing call. You got too many potatoes? Alright, well. Got rid of them now. So, if it's going to be in a different size, we no longer need that guy. And then, yeah, it's going to be something like that when we get to that. But what? My question is, should I, like, go hog wild and try and bring, like, just a ass ton of science then, or, you know, not, like, it would be 3 is what I'm thinking.
Here we go again!
And then 3 would penetrate right through the middle of that thing, so... How much do you have? 0.05. Tell you what, everybody, give me a second. I'm gonna go grab a refresh on my ice pack for my neck. Okay, back in. Just me and Mickey. I would like to land 3 different spots with this thing, if at all possible. Each of them weighs 0.05 tons, though. How much does this thing weigh? .075 tons. Do we have another kind of adapter? No, in structural, we've got this guy. What about in the fuel tanks? I think that goes to a ridiculous size. Yeah. We're not going that big. Alright. Lander, lander, lander pond. Think landers. the thing is, what's the thing? You don't want to bring all of that science back. Here's what we want to do. We want to make a lander that goes to the surface of Minmus, lands on it, takes all the science, bounces around a little bit, gets, science from a number of different places. And then when it leaves the surface of Minmus, it leaves the science-taking stuff behind and carries the science itself home in an experiment storage unit. That's the idea. That's my plan. We could even try and do it with a Science Junior. That would be a lot. But it is the one big land and return mission, so why not? I think that's we should make that attempt. Okay. Let's see if I can get enough of my strength here. Enough of my mind working and everything else to try and actually make this happen. No. Yeah, you're fine like that. So the idea is something like down here has to be everything that we're leaving behind. I like the idea, but it's very complicated. You get out of my way. That is a ton of DB. What are the odds we can get 3 sites? I don't know. Might as well take them anyway. Okay. The hell, man. You know what the hell, it's the people who made the game, Pawn. Alright. Alright, just shove it in there. Who gives a damn? You. You. Apparently you. Okay, well that's an idea for like having a science bay that gets left behind. So this would be the stage that like pushes us out to Minmus and we land on it. And we have to bounce around Minmus on it. And then there needs to be a small return stage as well that can get this boy home. Just thinking of ways to do that. Ways that don't look completely stupid. And there might just not be a way that doesn't look stupid. Huh? So then this would be the return craft. Oh no, 40% off. There, 60 ablator. Center of mass is in the right direction. As we lose a blader. No, as we lose a blader. If we were empty. And we lost a blader. Yeah, it's fine in terms of mass being in the right place for, you know, descent back into Kerbin. But that is before you put on your parachute and or drogue solution. Germaicing, you're the one who said a drogue would be enough. Now our mass is 0.47 tons. Would a single drogue get away with it, do you think? Even if it did, I don't think I can do a single drogue. It'll have to be 2. And we can continue to, like, make sure that the weight is near the front for re-entry. Doing it like that. Boy, I didn't like this, and then, I don't know, you put all this stuff together, and it just ends up looking so kind of weird that I kind of dig it now. It was bothering me before, now I like it. Mephistopheles thinks the answer is no. 2 drogues won't do it. The other thing, actually, and when we can jettison this on our way back also, so that'll make us even lighter for a descent on 2 drogues. I've never tried it before. I would like to try it. Worst case scenario, we just waste, you know, a whole bunch of time. But is that everything we need? Let's be for real. Is that everything we need? We got the return. We'll be carrying the science. We got enough monoprop to push ourselves home from the surface of Minmus, I think. It's going to be my guess, without bothering to do math on that. If anybody does want to do math on it. 0.62 tons full from the surface of Minmus return, if you want to do the math for that. 0.62 tons full. Oh, well, if you're going to do the math properly, then 0.62 tons full and 0.54 tons dry. 6.2 to 5.4. Just in case anybody does want to do the math. But it all needs to be under a fairing anyway, which I hate. So no, it will still be this. Then you, and then you. Delete fairing. Build fairing. And... wait. Why do you hate me so? It wants to be able to cross that a little bit wider. Okay. There you go. I'll do like that. And then from here... there. And then a tip. Okay. You're forgetting something, Pawn. Comms. You will need comms for this little guy as well. Just to get him home, really. Is that okay to have you there? Should be. Let's move you in. Yeah. Okay. Let's make sure that the probe core is in hibernate and warp auto. And then... Actually, here's a neater idea, at least one that I like more. Surely I can build on this. Yeah. And then perfectly upright. Half a tick out. In there. I like that. Married with this. I just don't know if it's gonna fit. They would counterbalance each other's weight, kind of a deal. And it would get a little bit of power generation on there. We're not gonna have power generation on there. We'll have power generation on the lander part of this thing. Well, Pawn, yes. Let's make it more like a lander then now. Okay, so you've got just 90 liquid fuel in there. Lander wants to be short, wants to be squat, wants to be squatting and shorting and short squatting. Can you do that? Oops. I think I just punched you all. What do you got? 24.3 in each one of these, huh? You know, I've built a lot of ships in my day. I like to try and find a new way to build. Something that will entertain me. So that's more delta V than we had with the other guy. I hate the aerodynamic profile that's going to give it. It really should be squat and short, though, but... There's one of you, right? And that's telling me 1475. It's min-miss, you know. We can land and jump around, it's no problem. Don't even need lander legs. Simplest design, best design. But if it's going to push itself out, land, and jump around a little bit, 1475 isn't a bad number, really. Let's look at that Delta V map again. because we're talking about basically 1,100 to get to Minmus, and then extra 200, so 1,300 to land, and we're saying 1,475. I think we would still want a little bit more than that, but you keep doing that thing. Okay, no, that does break off, so that is in the calculation. Is there anything else that's going to lower our weight while we're on the surface of Minmus? No. No. I might have to take a live stream break, like, right now, and see if my symptom flare doesn't settle down. So, I'll just get this into a place where I can save it. Yeah, Simpson fan. So I'm gonna take a live stream break and see if things get to where they need to be for us to carry on a little bit. I don't know if it'll just be 7 minutes, but pawn that out.
Woke up downtown about an hour ago. Where did she go? Where did she go? She was on that corner. She was selling something. She was looking for me. She was looking for me. You looking for a date there, cowboy? Where did she go? Where did she go? There must have been a gateway leading through to the places we've yet known. The light will cast no shadow. The light will cast no shadow. Where did she go? Where did she go? Laid out at that overpass. Steel barrel is my lantern. Will it light my path? Where did she go? Where did she go? Glass like a spider web, caught in refraction. Oh, I ain't looking for no rock, no mainline. Where did she go? Where did she go? Not where but when, forward, back, and gone again. Where did she go? Where did she go? Ha! This is one object in two spaces, and we will live again. Live again. I could see that signal race. She was looking for me. She was looking for me. Thanatos. Where did she go? Where did she go? Rusty blade cries out. Where did she go? And the river is wide and warm, and the light will cast no shadow, because this is nowhere. This is nowhere. This is nowhere! This is nowhere! Light will cast no shadow. Light will cast no shadow. Light will cast no shadow.
Okay. Oh, hi, Mickey. Let's give it a try to see if we can get back in here and continue developing and building. All good, Paul? We will see. I feel fine not talking. When I start talking, we'll see. I take low-dose naltrexone, and I think I might have accidentally skipped it last night as well, so that's the, part of the anti-inflammatory for my brain. And so if I skipped that and, am using some intellectualism-ness today, then it could build up on me. But I got a nice cold pack of ice at the base of my skull. Just listened to, one of our old Dead Letters tunes. That was basically what that was about. It turned into, I just wanted to hear that song. And that was basically just a practice. That was a recording from the basement while we were jamming and practicing. That wasn't like an attempt at producing that song. And I think it sounded pretty goddamn good for being, a jam session on a song that we were, it's just sad that we didn't have the level of high-quality audio, equipment to record ourselves back then and get some really good recordings of the Dead Letters days. We were raw as hell. Like, too raw. Like, we need some edges rounded off, honestly, but we were real fucking raw. What was the name of that song? This Is Nowhere. Or just Nowhere, I'm not sure which. We never cut an album with it on it, so it was either This Is Nowhere or it was just Nowhere. I think on our set lists for shows it was just Nowhere. We just wrote Nowhere. But I'll be playing, I got at least one or two other songs in there that were either me and Dead Letters or me and 5 Years to Live with Greg Aubrey. They'll come up eventually, I'll be pulling from that list when we're looking at stuff. So we got an interesting little return stage here that I don't hate. It's grown on me. Let's pull it off there, and this is what we're looking at. For a return vessel from Minmus to carry all of the science that'll be gathered from this vessel, by this vessel anyway. I remember before I had to, take a break there, there was something I was working on that I was like, hey, that's going to be a problem. And then my brain was like, we need to not think about things for at least a couple of minutes, buddy. And I guess, it was the Delta V here that we've got. The 1475. If this thing is to push itself all the way out to Minmus land on it, it absolutely can push itself all the way out and land on it. And then the top thing can come home, but will it be able to bounce around on Minmus at all? I would like it if it were able to hit more than one site. And 1475 is basically just a landing at Minmus with, some Delta V left over, but I think that's what I'm going to go with. I think I'm going to, say that this is just... If it doesn't work, I think, we should be able to at least hit 2 sites. If we can come up with 2 sites to hit. But so we're back to pushing it to orbit. Is the thing that we have to figure out again. So from altitude on, well, this is all messed up. I gotta sort out this mess that they made for us. So, you fire, and then that is the wrong one. Nope, that is the wrong one as well. Okay, so it's this one. SRB fires, drop the SRB, fire up the liquid fuel, and we want that pushed almost all the way up, and then we would be dropping you and firing up that engine. It just reminded me that if this is going to be an RCS guy, then I want to do this. Yeah. Okay, so SRB, liquid fuel, drop that lifter stage, and then we're on to our transfer stage. Right. So, sea level, almost nothing out of that little SRB. Yeah, we're going to need a lot more. So I'm just going to jump immediately to the Thumper. And see where it's getting tall, baby. See what we're looking at there. Without any thrust limiting, already down to a 1.5 on that. So 800. Let's assume that gets us to 9 kilometers, maybe 8 kilometers. 800 plus 1700, 2500, which is nothing. Nowhere, not enough, not near. I think what we have to do is, since this has turned into a much larger stage to push, we gotta just throw all this away and go up to the larger size of fuel tanks and stuff. It should be you, and we're going to be hard-pressed for enough TWR off of these engines. We bought into new engines, Paul. Oh, we have. Well then, the Bobcat is the savior of all space programs. Did you know that? Because it is. Yeah. Right there, friends. So, 2,400 off of that. We could make this thing fully liquid. From sea level, 2,900. I don't think I want it to be full liquid. I think I want to lift it with a little bit of solid. Something like that. Throw some nose cones on it. So from sea level, we're talking less than 1,000, 950. And that 950 will get us up toward 10, 11 kilometers, I'll say. So 950 and then 2,450 Or 25 and 9, which is 3,400, which is more than we need. But sure as shit gets it done. Right on the gray line. Right on the gray line. Okay. 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 And then let's turn that stage. So it'll be going up the way we want it to go up. Oof. The burping helps a lot. A lot of my daily symptoms have to do with like trapped gas in my chest and stuff. Big part of my difficulty breathing. You know, there's the hypoxia of the disease, but then there's also gas trapped in the abdomen, putting pressure on the lungs. It makes it even harder to feel like you're filling them. 950 plus the 2450. Good numbers. I like those numbers. Those are the numbers that I gotta get used to. I'm always like trying to make it shorter, smaller, tighter. I don't need it to all be that damn tight. So yes, this is just fine what we're seeing there. Let's look at some thrust to weight ratios. $79.5 for a 1.4 off the pad. And then when we switch over to the main Bobcat, if we do so at 2460, we'll be at a 3.0 TWR. That's a little much, but it's not too much, little much. Yeah. I might do well to run the Bobcats a little alongside that, the SRBs, but let's not overcomplicate it until we know that we need it. So, SRBs, drop it, fire up the Bobcat, drop the Bobcat and all of that, switch over to our transfer stage, go to Minmus, land on it, boost back and land on a drone ship. I've had that stuck in my head for a while now. Like, it's not stuck in my head anymore, but now that I've thought about it, it probably is again. The SpaceX launch you up parody. It's a damn shame that Elon Musk turned out to be a, you know, complete piece of shit, but the song is still pretty cool. I know I also don't agree with, like, celebrating the privatization of, but, you know, the song is still pretty cool. What was the name of that song? Oh no, that was from before, from our show. Yes, that I'm a Dragon. Minmus Returner Mark II. Once we get up there, what's going on? Then I want to, I need to throw this off between these two stages, which gets us a little bit more delta V out of that. Probably. No, it just gets us the amount that we expected to have. And then we break off, and then we're coming home, we're firing 2 drogues and hoping that the damn thing doesn't explode. Explodes. Save that, and to hell with it, I'm putting it out on the pad without thinking about it anymore. And we'll see what happens. To Minmus for a landing. Things pulled up here, SAS on, and throttled it to full. Yeah, some of the parts are significantly shinier than others to the point of looking like you can see right through them.
1, fire!
We're off and away. We will have no control authority, and we are tipping over. We are tipping over for reasons. um,
Oh, shit.
no, I got it. I got it. We're fine. This is fine. See? It's fine. We're fine. This is planned water test. We wanted to test how that we haven't game overed. We're doing excellently. Thank you very much. We wanted to see what's the buoyancy of our craft before we took it to Minmus. There's so many lakes on Minmus. We needed to know the buoyancy of the craft. And it looks good. Looks good. Just open you up. And I'm gonna reach in here. What? Water is land, too. Seismic scan can't be done right now. Ooh, you know what, though? Probably we haven't done, Science Junior in water, right? Conduct materials study? Yeah, that's worth 13. So we're getting some, that was another part of the planned mission we just did. So, why did the ship turn to the north when it was on SRBs? $19,226. You think it'll be buoyant enough to sit on ice on Minmus because it's buoyant enough to float on water? Okay. See, that's why we needed to test it. We just had to be sure. Why did the ship on SRBs with no SAS or anything decide to just turn itself to the north? You go ahead and look at that ship for me, you tell me why. Why would this just go north? I can't really say. There's no aerodynamic issues with it. I mean, we actually kind of went out of our way to build it in a very reasonable aerodynamic profile. There's no significant misbalances of weight. You know, the worst thing that I did was put the .005 ton science kit in without snapping them to snapping points. So in other words, there isn't a problem there. My only explanation would be that there was still a little bit of wobble in the SRBs, and one of them managed to get, kicked inward, and so I've added another pair of struts at the top to try and hold them in the position that we want them in. Which I suppose I don't really need to do. I could kind of just lower the SRBs on their decouplers. But we'll go with this anyway, and we'll still call it the Mark II. SRB's firing, then liquid. This all still looks good. Save and launch. Let's hope it's not just Kerbal Space Program being Kerbal Space Program, huh? Alright, in 3, 2, 1, go. It's Kerbal Space Program just being Kerbal Space Program. We're headed to the north again. Nope, no. Okay. Well, I did manage something here, huh? Let's pull the throttle back down and see if we can actually get a flight out of this before we just go rushing into space. Yeah, it looks like we're just gonna go rushing into space. Alright, killing the engines at 74. I'll give you a little bit of juice just to get back towards your prograde. Just that touch. See if you can hold it. Could certainly put some SAS on this thing. But we'll see. We will see. I managed to do some pretty damn good piloting considering Kerbal decided to do something that no one can explain. Maybe the craft is too buoyant. Not gonna have any problem hanging on to the Apwaps this time. Very powerful engine. Did I get rid of the... Nope. There you go.
Just skipping me entirely now, are we?
It's been a while since I skipped you, Houston. Oh my god, this is gonna work out beautifully, I think. We have circularized, we have orbited Kerbin, and we're down to 0 meters per second. God damn it. Didn't realize we were that close to out. Because that means this gets left in orbit, I think. Well, it is what it is. We got her up here. So give me a quick save. I'm just gonna take a little break after flying that up. What else has been going on around here? So you guys know that I've been watching Next Generation on Pluto. Today I went to, tune into the, all the Next Generation channel and found out that they've switched over to the original series, Star Trek, the original series, which I have no particular love for. And which meant I haven't watched any Pluto today, and hopefully they see their numbers and see that Ronan Pawn did not tune in on the day that they switched over to the era of Kirk, and they stopped doing that. Yeah, it's a damn shame, but I think we're just going to have to call this live stream here and leave this guy sitting in orbit waiting for the next live stream. You know, it's just too much me having to stop and catch my breath and that kind of thing. During the last little MECFS break there, I did take my LDN and my ibuprofen and everything, but clearly just not a good day for it. Do I need some free streaming? I think I need to call it a day on this. We're going to leave the whatever I named this in orbit here. The Minmus Returner Mark II. On its way, ready to go. And when it goes, it will leave some trash in space. But, yeah, the sooner that I stop talking, probably the better for me. So, sorry to cut this one short. Need a few more days recovery time, apparently. But thanks for coming with me for what it was. And I hope to see you back here on a day when I'm feeling a little bit better. Pawn out.